organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV, students at the UI received a hawk alert today after an armed suspect was on the campus. The details are coming up.
And later, how safe are Iowa City apartments? We'll take a look at some controversial security problems.
And in sports, hear the heartbreak of Brent Metcalf after he came up short in the finals.
That's all coming your way next.
Daily Iowan TV starts now.
I'm Tom Brokaw. For more than 100 years now, the University of Iowa community has been waking up to the Daily Iowan. Today, it's the largest newsroom in eastern Iowa. And now you can see the news every night on Daily Iowan TV and get it anytime worldwide at dailyiowan.com.
Welcome to Daily Iowan TV. I'm Christina Targos.
And I'm Brad Maxwell. A bank robbery on Iowa City's south side Monday prompted yet another hawk alert to be sent out to University of Iowa students and community members. The alert even caused several area schools to go on lockdown. The alert was sent at approximately 10:30 Monday morning and said, quote, Iowa City Police Department and UI Police are searching for an armed robbery suspect in the Lodge apartment to 900th block of Harlock Street area. Stay out of the area, end quote. Another alert was sent out approximately 50 minutes later, notifying that the suspect was in custody. About 15 minutes before the initial alert was sent, a message about an armed suspect in City Park was sent out. This was likely the same message sent out in February when an allegedly armed man was seen in City Park and was in error by the Hawk Alert system. The Hawk Alert system has received much criticism in recent months, and Monday's warning was sent out nearly an hour after the robbery occurred. To hear more about the Hawk Alert malfunction and get students' reaction, check out Tuesday's print version of the Daily Iowan.
The mayor of Iowa City, Matt Hayek, declared Monday, April 23rd as Dean Linda Maxon Day after a celebration of the dean's 15 years at the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences here at the UI. The event was held on the Pentacrest and included live jazz and steel band performances. President Sally Mason said a few remarks to thank the dean for her services. The College of Liberal Arts and Science is the largest college at the UI.
No key, no problem. There are plenty of apartment buildings in Iowa City with unsecured locks, mostly housing students. Even though it means easy access, one city official say they can't do anything about it. Ian Martin reports.
This is not the key to this apartment building. And these, just a simple dime and penny. But all three of them will easily gain you access if you just stick it in the slot and open the door. Usually, these apartment buildings do lock. But how well they lock is a different story. It would seem the Iowa City Housing Code on doors is simple, just that every door, door hinge, and door latch and door lock have to be maintained in a good and functional condition. Or, as one city official puts it in layman's terms,
Iowa City doesn't have a requirement that buildings are what you'd call quote-unquote secure buildings. We're not. If the system is there, if the past code system is there, it has to work, it has to be operational.
But since the building's locks do technically lock some people out, it's a legal gray area for Iowa City.
We're not going to try and defeat the system when we go out there, but if it's something that we yank on that door and the door comes open, you know, that's an issue for us.
Popular apartment complexes, the Three Towers, the Pink Palace, as well as the Main Street apartment complex are just some of the notable easy-to-open buildings in Iowa City. And while they do have entry cameras, the tapes are rewound and erased frequently. Whether late-night revelers in adjacent shops or just general foot traffic, these buildings are, for all intents and purposes, unlocked at all times. Their locks neutralized by everyday items. Ian Martin, Daily Iowan TV.
Requests to comment by that company that owns all three buildings pictured in that story, Clark Properties, were not returned.
An eastern Iowa man sentenced for strangling a Davenport prostitute, then burning her body, is a person of interest for at least 2 other homicides in the area. Chad Welsh was convicted last week for the murder of 41-year-old Angela Hens in January of 2007. Davenport police say that that the Hens murder was similar to the killing of 2 other Quad City women. Both of these women were strangled and were prostitutes. Welsh will serve the rest of his life in prison without parole for his involvement in the original murder.
Still to come on Daily Iowan TV, one of Iowa City's largest celebrations, Riverfest. We'll preview the week's events and tell you what you need to know.
And in sports, see if any Iowans will be hitting the wrestling mats in London this summer.
But first, let's check in with Daily Iowan TV's Alyssa Bergamini for a look at today's weather forecast. Alyssa?
Well, with one more week left in April, we surprisingly will be seeing more sun rather than rain this upcoming week. But first, let's take a look at tomorrow's forecast. For Tuesday morning, we'll start out with 54 degrees, but will be mostly sunny. Reaching into the afternoon, the temperature will increasingly get hotter, around 69 degrees, with the sun still shining. And in the evening, the temperature will drop down into the lower 60s, but will remain sunny. Tomorrow is looking pretty good, but let's take a look into the week's extended forecast. On Wednesday, unfortunately, the thunderstorms will be approaching, with the temperatures in the 70-degree range. Thursday's temperatures will drop down in the 60s, but with mostly sunny skies. For the weekend, Friday, we will see showers with a cool of 54 degrees. And as you can see here, Saturday and Sunday will be in the higher 50s, but a bit cooler than what we will be seeing in the upcoming week. Well, guys, despite Wednesday's thunderstorms and Friday's showers, the rest of the week seems like a good way to end the month of April. Thanks, Christina and Brad, and back to you.
The Intel Corporation has announced that a new generation of processor chips for PCs will become available this week. The new chips are codenamed Ivy Bridge and will utilize more of a 3D design, allowing the chips to be faster while consuming less power. Some analysts say this is the most significant silicon design featured since 1950s. The first line of processors will only be available for desktop computers, but Intel hopes to implement the feature into laptops for the upcoming school year.
Monday was the start of the 34th annual Riverfest. It is the celebration of spring, music, and the Iowa River. But besides the fun events, there is more to Riverfest. I took a look at the history of this springtime festival. 34 years ago, in 1978, Riverfest was celebrated for the first time here at the UI. It began when a group of students decided there was a need for a springtime festival. With the supervision of the UI Associate Dean of Students, the group decided to call the festival Riverfest. This name came to remind students and members of the community just how important the Iowa River is on the UI campus. It began as a small event, and by the mid to late 80s, it grew to a huge 11-day celebration that cost $70,000 to produce. Now it is a week-long event from April 23rd to April 29th. It is one of the largest and most successful student-organized events on campus, and its focus has now turned to music, especially local artists in Iowa City. Some of the main events this week are the Monday Java Jog, a coffee crawl with acoustic music from local musicians at the stops. Tuesday is a night full of music with the pop duo Sleigh Bells. Wednesday is a kickball tournament and dinner in the dark, a new sensation sweeping the nation of eating in complete darkness to enhance taste and smells. Thursday night will have more music with Grace Potter and the Nocturnals. Friday is the Pajama Jam. There will be live music and food in the IMU, so go relax in your pajamas. Saturday is the Zombie Prom, and Sunday is the 33rd Annual River Run. For more information on Riverfest and its events, check out riverfest.uiowa.edu.
Governor Branstad said Monday he is confident Iowa lawmakers will approve an overhaul to the state's property tax system. The proposal includes an across-the-board cut of 40% to business property taxes over 8 years, and Senate Democrats wanted a smaller reduction aimed at small businesses. The two sides are now working on a compromise that would contain elements of both.
And now for a look beyond Iowa. Remember that U.S. drone Iran claimed to have captured last December? Now, an Iranian senior military official says they have cracked the codes of the intelligence-gathering drone. According to the nation's semi-official media, the official said they extracted data, included that it had flown over the Pakistani hideout of al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden 2 weeks before his death in May. Iran also claims to have decoded information such as protocols and repairs. They learned the drone was in California in October 2010 for repairs. It was later moved to Afghanistan, and there it had problems U.S. experts could not solve. According to the official, the U.S. did not comment on Tehran's claims Sunday.
And U.S. retail giant Walmart says it will conduct a complete investigation into the charges of bribery. That comes after the New York Times reported that executives in Walmart's Mexico division attempted to conceal widespread bribery from other executives at their headquarters in the U.S. The article says the huge retailer paid more than $24 million in bribes for construction permits in Mexico several years ago.
When you think of Lamborghini, you probably think of a high-speed exclusive sports car. But now the Italian automaker is branching out with a concept SUV. The Urus, Lamborghini's CEO, says the company wants to create a vehicle useful for more than just occasional high-speed drives. The concept SUV is made of lightweight carbon fiber, and instead of side mirrors, it has video cameras. The company isn't concerned about the risk of manufacturing an SUV. Analysis by Ford Motor Company shows 1 in 3 vehicles sold in the U.S. last year were some sort of SUV. Lamborghini is prepared to produce as many as 3,000 Urus SUVs in addition to the 2,000 cars it produces annually.
And now let's see what's happening in Hawkeye sports with Daily Iowan TV's Nick Robertson.
Iowa softball pitcher Kayla Massey was selected co-pitcher of the week by the Big Ten. The sophomore from California posted a 2-0 record with an ERA of .5 in her 3 appearances last week. Massey allowed only 10 hits in 14 innings but struck out 10 batters to match. Massey's first game was a complete game shutout against Michigan State. The Hawks beat the Spartans 6-0. Her second complete game, she only allowed 1 run in the Hawkeyes' 4-1 victory over Northern Iowa. Massey is the second Iowa pitcher to win this honor this season. The men's golf team finished second at the Boilermaker Invitational this weekend. This was the Hawkeyes' 3rd consecutive top 2 finish this season. Indiana finished the weekend on top, with Iowa finishing 2 strokes behind the Hoosiers. Kent State rounded out the top 3 on the weekend. Iowa's Barrett Keplin finished second overall, ending with 2 under for the weekend. Luke Guthrie of Illinois came in first. He was 1 stroke ahead of Keplin. Indiana's David Edry finished 3rd. And finally, Carver Hawkeye Arena saw over 54,000 faces at the Olympic wrestling trials this weekend. And after Sunday's finals, only 19 athletes will make their way to London this summer. Daily Iowan TV Sports' Kate Constable is at Carver Hawkeye Arena with some post-tournament coverage.
Yeah, Nick, after Sunday, the trials have wrapped up and the 2012 USA Olympic Wrestling team is set. Now, we've heard from Saturday's champions already, so let's hear from Sunday's winners, starting with the man who put our very own Brett Metcalf's dreams on hold.
It's been a dream on a pedestal that has been knocked down so many times that it's going to take a while before it sinks in. It's what I've been working for the whole time, and like I said, I fell short all those times, and it's another notch in the belt, and I knew that I had to come to perform. I had to make my breaks, and I wasn't doing that in the past, and now I can say that I was not allowed to make it happen.
R.C. Johnson also swept his opponent to secure a spot in London, but not so fast. The Greco-Roman weight class of 96 kilograms is not yet an official class of the 2012 Games. Johnson will have a couple weeks to wait and to find out if the class has been added and if he'll be heading to London, but for now, he's just enjoying the win.
I'm probably not going to take much time off, a day or two, just kind of let the bumps and bruises heal a little bit. It's kind of one of those things where, these are the rules that have been set forth, and so you just kind of do what you can to do the best you can to get through it and, train hard when the time comes and I get ready to step up, try to be there.
But let's talk about our Iowa City man who was in the finals. Brett Metcalf lost to Jared Frere in the first 2 matches, and after the loss, as you can imagine, he was a man of few words.
Didn't get what you wanted, so I think the first match was all what he wanted. He set the pace, and that's why I lost. When there was something on the line, my urgency went up, and you know what? I was down, it was low, but I was tight, and there was no, I was able to finish 2 shots. I appreciate all the support of all the fans that came out, and hope that they continue to support freestyle wrestling, and I hope that our club can start bringing home more gold.
Among other wrestlers you can look forward to seeing this summer are Ellis Coleman, Sam Hazewinkle, and Clarissa Chung. But from Carver Hawkeye Arena, I'm Kate Constable, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
Thanks, Kate. So, guys, even though no Hawkeyes made it through to the Olympics, it's hard not to look at this weekend as a success. Back to you.
And before we leave you tonight, check this out. These children are hoping to stack their way to the Olympics. They're competing to represent Sacramento at the Junior Olympics this summer in speed stacking. It's the first time the sport will be featured in the Games. To improve their precision and speed, they practice stacking cups several days a week.
And only with Daily Iowan TV can you get a sneak peek into the print version of Tuesday's Daily Iowan. Read about a UI Business Fraternity's $2 challenge to students. It's coming up this week, and it challenges students to spend no more than $2 a day for a week. The reasoning behind it is in tomorrow's story.
Plus, Tuesday is Phil's Day, a university-wide celebration of philanthropy. Learn about the events planned for the big day.
Well, that's your Monday edition of Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to check us out the same time tomorrow or anytime online at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for watching and have a great night.